Hey folks, Rich here, South Florida Beekeeping with Rich. Well, I'm back from my trip, my little vacation, and much to my surprise when I came back, given the amount of the scout activity that was going on that bucket trap, I was surprised that nothing actually moved in. Kind of thought that would happen while I was gone. So it must be that they wanted something bigger. And so I decided, okay, let's make something bigger, but let's not spend a lot of time or effort or money doing it. Okay? So here's what I'm making today. So I took one of my medium nukes and I took a couple of snipe signs. Cortex is what this stuff is called, among other things. A lot of people use plastic cardboard. The signs you see stuck on the side of the road, as an eyesore. So I don't feel bad if I go around and pick some of them up. Although I have contacts in code enforcement, so I get them real easy. But just this standard plastic cardboard that is used for signage. And I just take some of this plastic cardboard, as it were, and all I did was slice it this way, slice it that way, slice a couple of pieces for the end. It took 3 signs to do this. Uh, couldn't really lift it this way because that would have been way too much splicing. But if you have bigger signage, hey, the deeper the better. As it stands, this is 19 inches high, and that makes me a 17 and 3/4 gallon swarm trap. 17 and 3/4 gallons. I mean, it's not the 20-gallon ideal, but it's more than enough for a large swarm by South Florida standards. So it's real easy to make. All I did was cut the 4 pieces, lay them out here on the table. I taped the inside of them so that it was easy to fold them into the rectangle. Fold them in the rectangle, tape the fourth side of the rectangle together, and then put it around the swarm box, or the nuke box. 1 inch overlap, couple of screws here, screw there, screw in the back, couple of screws over here, and on the bottom, I was going to use plastic, but it was sitting on the table. A gust of wind came along, the whole thing went flying, and I went, oh yeah, I probably need a little more weight down below. So I just took a couple of pieces of 1x4 and put them together and made an outline piece on the bottom. It's extremely sturdy. It's very lightweight and easy to handle. All right. And I took a spray bottle of propolis tincture, sprayed the whole inside with propolis tincture 2 or 3 times now. So it's got a good layer on it. You can do your entrance wherever you want, however you want, but 3/4 of an inch. And that piece will go there, and slap a piece of tape over it for insurance when the time comes. I could even have just left this off and just slapped a piece of tape over it whenever the time comes anyway, but I had the pieces of leftover, so just went ahead and made that. The reason for the tape here is just for waterproofing. That way, instead of the water coming down and getting into here and such and holding, hopefully most of the water will run away from that. And I just threw some green spray paint on it so it wasn't a big yellow thing up there in the tree. All sealed up.
Well, that was easy.
Yep. But the tape isn't what holds this together. It's, 1 screw here, 2 screws, 2 screws, 1 screw. The tape helps. But this thing has been proving to be quite sturdy. I've been bouncing it around a fair amount. Oh, let's put a couple of wired frames.
So we don't actually have to do a cutout.
So we don't have to do a cutout. Here's a nice little suggested beginner one.
Oh, that piece of comb looks familiar.
Yeah, this piece of comb should be familiar. This was swarm that lived inside of a dead palm frond. Palm fronds kind of curl up, and to slice it all up and get it into frames was very creative. But there you go. It
And they
ended up
left the
making
palm
it.
frond right in there.
The palm frond was just in there, but I figure this year maybe these guys. I mean, if we get a swarm in here, they will fix that the rest of the way. There we go. I happen to like to put reflect text on the inside. Now, the only thing I did with the migratory cover is I put a couple of repair plates right there.
Oh, so
Just
that's the normal cover for your nuke.
this would be a normal cover for my nuke. I have lots of these migratory covers that I made, and somebody gave me some cedar wood, and I just turned the whole thing into tops. I mean, it's just to keep things where they belong. That's all.
But also, when you're taking it down from the tree and it's full of bees, you don't have to worry about the cover sliding off.
Nope, it's not going anywhere.
Which, if you don't think about that, it'll happen.
Uh huh. What?
I said, if you don't think about that, it'll happen.
Oh yeah. Well, it's one of the reasons I like to put the Reflectex in there. It acts like a gasket as well, so it works out well. So we'll cut the video right here for a couple of minutes while I go
There's
hang
one
this.
thing you missed.
What did I miss, dear?
You did put a little swarm thing of lemongrass in there.
That's true. I did. You've seen me put lemongrass in a straw and stick it in before, and indeed, right underneath here, the point sticking out back here, I put it down below the actual box so it would be out of the way. But in the back right here, there is a piece of cotton with lemongrass oil.
So the only trick to this one is to catch the bees before they have built comb down the bottom of the frames, like under
Yeah.
the frames.
Yeah.
And that, but then I mean, it's easy enough to cut that off and put it in another frame. You have to do a cutout anyway.
Oh, I don't intend on letting it be around that long. If bees move into this one, I will give them about 10 days in here, and then I will take it down, and if they get a prime swarm like I'm hoping, we'll put together hive number one, and we'll introduce this swarm to hive number one.
Cool. So we're ready to put it in a tree?
We're ready to put it in a tree.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. I put it up where the other one was. Just pulled it up there with the rope. Put a screw in down here, a screw in up there, a little spacer over there to level things off. It's facing this way, so that way as I walk by all the time, I don't have to crane my head over my back to see whether or not there's something checking it out. And okay, so we put the trap up Sunday afternoon. Now it's Tuesday afternoon.
2 days later.
We have heavy scout activity. Now, whether like the other one, they finish checking it out or not, we don't know. But there we go. They're not turning their nose up at it, so that's a win. So at any rate, nothing ended up moving in here a week later. So we're still waiting to see what might happen with that. But something did move into the bucket that I took from this location and put somewhere else. Now, whether it was a big swarm or a little swarm, I don't know. We're about to go find that out.
Here's the bucket trap, and here's the activity.
Yeah. And since this bucket trap is kind of in full sun at the moment because this tree hasn't leafed out yet, they're fanning like crazy in there, and the scent out here is wonderful. Uh, what we're going to find out now is whether a small swarm moved in here or a large swarm moved in here. And if it's a small swarm, I'm going to feed them a little bit of damp sugar and a little bit of a pollen patty. Don't really know if they need it or don't need it, but I have it ready and prepared here in case we do. So I'm wearing my jacket because this is going to be my first introduction of these bees. And they are a swarm that took up residence in a fairly small container, which means they could be Africanized to whatever degree, and I want to find out whether they're nice or not. And so that when I open that bucket and I lift that lid, there's going to be an explosion of bees. And it's too late at that point to put on my jacket if I need it. But all we're going to do is look at it. We're going to bring it down here. We're going to lift the lid, look at it. I'm going to set it over here in this bucket out of the way. I'm going to give it some sugar, a piece of pollen patty, and away we go.
And this is the frangipani tree.
Yes, this is a frangipani tree, but it doesn't have any uh, leaves on it yet.
No, it doesn't.
Or blooms.
No.
Some of the ones in the neighborhood are putting out their leaves. They're about a quarter sized at the moment. They will grow.
What's the other word for frangipani?
Plumeria.
Plumeria, that's it. That's the scent you'll see in like Bath and Body Works and places like that. The flowers smell really nice.
But they're not so much of a bee tree. Okay, let's find out what we have here. Get this out of the way. All right, drum roll. Let's see.
That's not a bad swarm.
That's a fairly handsome swarm.
Yeah, and it's been a week, and how many petals do I see? 5, 6?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8. Wow.
Standard.
Wow.
8 is the magic number with bees, it seems.
With that size bucket, sure.
Yep.
And the rest of them that are in there, well, nobody came pouring out, so.
Nope. So they're going to be a nice group. Plenty of bees still in there. So I just made up a little bit of sugar. They don't really need it. Royal palms are blooming right now. The queen palms are blooming right now. The loquat's blooming right now. A number of things are starting to come back into bloom, and over the next couple of weeks, more stuff's going to be blooming, and everything has pollen, but we're going to give it this little bit of pollen anyway.
So when do you anticipate putting these in a box? They already have 8 combs.
They've got 8 combs. They have some time to draw them out a little bit and get them a little bit stronger. Probably sometime next week.
So the cutout on this one might be our next video. Oh, can I get a close-up? Yeah, in the sun.
Okay, girls. Oh, come on. You're getting a little too close to the top there. Okay. And of course, all those bees up there are wondering where their entrance is.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. There we go.
Oh, they're really swarming and hogging around the entrance now. That's kind of funny. Everybody's trying to rush in at once.
Yes, it's very warm, and that comb is very delicate, so I don't want to try doing a cutout today. Let's let that comb get a little stronger.
So once again, ye old bucket trap proves to be the winner.
Yeah, yeah. All this information about needing
bigger spaces and
20 gallons and all this sort of thing. Well,
oh, maybe that works up north.
Works better up north. Down here, I just find that a 5-gallon bucket seems to be the most acceptable
Especially when
trap.
you coat it with lots of slum gum.
Yeah, we coat it with slum gum and propolis and a little bit of junk and make it smell like home sweet home. So, okay, that'll close up this video. We'll see you guys next one. Hey, be sure to like and subscribe if you would, please, and hit that notifications button so that YouTube will show my videos to more people. That would be terrific. Have a great day, everybody.